Yeah. Well, I mean, little things, Amy, like, in practice, we'd be in a heated, competitive, offensive execution kind of battle with our scout team, and it's tied. We can't break the tie. We score, they score. We get a stop, they get a stop. And in those moments, I can say, okay, hey, Jazz, you take the team, you make the call, you pick what we're gonna run, what we're gonna execute right here, and usually, their ability to have high IQ and know what they feel like is really going to work in those moments, and to have input and to have confidence in their ability to execute in those situations has proven true. I think Maddie Kroll has brought something to the table, and she said, Coach, I want to implement sister dates with this team. It's a way for us to connect one-on-one with each other, and so she coordinates it, and we were doing it every week for a while. Now that we're in full season 20-hour-a-week form, we go every other week, but she partners them up with another teammate, and then those two young ladies have an opportunity to go out and really do kind of whatever they would like. If they want to grab coffee or go for a walk around Holmes Lake, or whatever they do to connect with each other on those dates. And I think it's really led to just a really connected team, and I think shows and better prepares us for the highs and lows that come, particularly when you have a season that's as long as our season is. You know there's going to be some highs and lows, and so it prepares us to be in a position to be able to be connected through those, and to lean on each other and kind of know each other, how we can respect each other's differences, and get through those highs and lows that a season will entail.
Fred has like a leadership council with some of his guys. Is that something that you do too, or if not, just how do you help
Yeah, I mean, it's been something that we started clear back at the end of last year, when we kind of started about discussing what this next season could be, and just having individual and private conversations with the players that we felt like really possessed the best opportunities to step up in leadership. But I think the one thing we've really tried to emphasize throughout most of the summer is that we need everybody to find a way to contribute to our leadership. And so one thing we've done is we've been really leaning heavy into the Clifton Strength Finders program, and our players really learning about what their strengths and talents are, and then being able to kind of lean heavily on those strengths and talents to find what's the area that you can lead for us. And everybody is expected to find some ways to lead, and it might be your way of leadership is to be the one that lightens the mood when everybody's kind of tired or cranky, or we got home really late last night, but we still have to find a way to come out and be productive the next day. And might be to just crack a joke and get everybody kind of laughing, and so everybody has their strengths, and how can you use those to lead our program. Yeah, it's been so fun to watch. I think Darian, as a very experienced player, has brought just that intensity on both sides of the ball. She's obviously incredibly speedy and quick, and pushes pace and tempo, and she was at one point a defensive player of the year in the Big Sky Conference. So it's not just on one side of the ball that she really affects things, it's kind of both sides. And so there's been several times where we've been kind of reeling a little in practice with competing against our scout guys, and then she'll make some big play defensively that leads to a layup that kind of sparks us and gets us going. And I think she just comes to us with a lot of experience, and she's got great personality. She's just bubbly. She steps on the bus and just brings a lot of joy and energy to the court and to our team. And then Logan Nisley and Natalie Potts both got the experience of playing in Greece and getting a chance to kind of show. I had several players just come into our individual meetings after that and talk about what the confidence that both of those two freshmen showed while we were in Greece of stepping in and helping contribute both offensively and defensively. And then, Jess Petrie is kind of the most recent addition, and she wasn't here in June because she was still playing for a world championship for Australia, and so has just kind of been with us for just the 4 weeks of preseason and now a couple weeks of court practice. But man, can you see right away how she's just a high IQ basketball player that picks things up very quickly, and she's just got a very professional approach to how she does things and takes care of her body, and just so it's just been awesome to see the way those kids have joined in.
Bringing Allison back as quickly as possible, but also making sure you don't bring it up too fast.
Yeah, well, fortunately, Amy, I have a lot of people to kind of help me with that. I mean, we have sports science staff that's at practice every day, strength and conditioning coach, athletic trainer. They've been very involved with her entire rehab process, and so they're familiar with her pains and the ups and downs and the things she's walked through that every rehabilitation kind of comes with. But so there's a lot of people and a lot of minds we're meeting regularly to kind of discuss and to make sure that we're keeping an eye on her load, and she's doing all the same movements as all the rest of our team, all the same drills, all the same everything, but just making sure that if it gets to a high load practice that we maybe kind of limit her reps to be able to keep her fresh so that her muscles don't fatigue as she's kind of putting the final touches on this rehab.
Any timeline at all with her, or not yet? In terms of being
Yeah, no, I think at this point, we fully expect her to be fully available to us when we scrimmage our first scrimmage, play our first game, and so we should be good. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think there's a lot of players on our team that have confidence right now. And we had our trip to Greece this summer provided us an opportunity to look at a lot of different lineups, and we're currently still rotating our lineups through practice and just looking at lots of different players playing together. And I think it's developing a confidence in a lot of people. So, that's something that we like to do early in the season, is to give a lot of people repetitions to be able to kind of establish that confidence, so that when you have to be called on, when the chips are down, that you're ready to go. And so that's something that we will most definitely do at this group.
I just want to get your impressions of Indiana's physical with her as a player. What impresses you?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the way that she is one of the best players in the league on both sides of the ball that probably impresses me the most. I think people know what she can do on the block, and she's so crafty and creative with her footwork and just efficient as a scorer. But even if you try to throw like double teams, she just finds these narrow little creases to still be able to get in and in a lot of traffic to finish at a high rate, but then to be one of the best defenders in the league and blocking shots and keeping her intensity up on both sides of the ball, I think is probably the one thing that impresses me the most.
Your backcourt has a really high potential to do some really awesome things this year. What excites you about the potential of that?
I think that we have been able to add some depth in our backcourt, and so that's, I think, the one thing that excites me the most. And we have, a player like a Logan Nisley. I tell her all the time, every time she shoots it from behind the arc, I think it's going in. She's just she gets her shot off quickly, and she, to have another kind of sniper type of threat from behind the arc available is just really. It makes life easier for penetrating guards. It makes life easier for post players like Alexis Markowski, just to have that threat out there at all times. And we've got a number of them. Obviously, Jazz Shelley being one of 2 players, I think, in the country last year that made over 75 three-point makes and over 200 assists. And her and Caitlin Clark, the only 2 players to do that 1 year ago. So, when you have a threat like that, that's a 5th-year senior that's been motivated and experienced and been in the gym working and set the tone with the work ethic for our team, that's really an exciting thing.
What were the points of emphasis for Jazz this offseason?
Yeah, I think, she told us, at the end of last season that she wanted to get, more confident when she goes to the basket, to be able to finish and finish strong and finish with contact, and she wanted to really work on her mid-range game and being able to expand that. And so we've seen that really improve, just the details that she's, the attention to detail. One thing about Jazz Shelley that's just unique is her conditioning level provides her an opportunity to work at a speed and individual skill work that's different than any other player I've ever coached. And so she's able to take reps and make corrections and take reps, and in the same amount of time, she just is able to get twice as much work done, and that has really influenced several of the other players, and they see that and they notice that and they want to come in and be a part of that, and they jump in the gym with her, and so the influence she's having on the rest of our team with that is huge as well.
Pack PBA was a really awesome event last year. You guys have any similar
Thank you for asking, Amy. Yes, we are going to have kind of another PAC PBA event that we've targeted, and it's our January 7th game. It's a weekend game with Indiana, and we really feel like that will be a game, another opportunity for us to try to break that record attendance that we set 1 year ago, and be able to knock that out of the park and get closer to a sellout over there at Pinnacle Bank Arena. We've seen and know what Husker Nation is about, but I know that Husker Nation loves a challenge, and so anytime that we try to challenge them to raise the bar, they find a way to show up for us, and so we're looking forward to that.
With that in mind, with Volleyball Day in Nebraska in mind, with all of the attention that was put on, women's volleyball last season, with all of these big names and amazing games, I'm lost for words. Just the league-wide and nationwide excitement for everything. Just how does Nebraska go about capturing that energy?
Well, I think Nebraska took a huge step with that volleyball day, setting a world record for a women's sporting event, and we knew that all eyes were going to be on the University of Nebraska, but the way that everybody in our athletic department and in our community came together to make that not just an awesome volleyball game, but an awesome event. And our event staff and the way they set up, but our social media team and the way they told the story, and Husker Vision and the way they utilized technology and just put on a show and did everything the right way. I think it was really fun to see that when all eyes were on Nebraska, that the University of Nebraska did not disappoint and really did things right.
When you think about just how exciting of a time it is to be in women's basketball right now, with everything that happened last season, how does that make you feel that there's so many more eyes on your sport and your programs in this conference than there have been in recent years?
It makes me feel absolutely awesome. I feel like that it validates all of the hard work that the people who've come before us have done to open doors and knock down barriers, but also all of the hard work that these bright, talented, young women have put in to being the best at what they do. And so the fact that people are taking notice of that and recognizing women's basketball to be just a quality level of entertainment and high level of basketball it's rewarding to see, and it really validates the work they've put in. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ani Stewart is just a veteran player that has continued to play whatever role we've asked her to play. And that's something where, when you have somebody that's like, well, okay, coach, yeah, you want me to play the 4? Okay, you want me to play the 5? You want me to come off the bench? You want me to start? You want me to do whatever? I think there's really no price tag that you can put on that as a coach, is somebody that's willing to embrace whatever role, even if it shifts. And she's just she's the daughter of coaches. She understands the game. She understands a lot of things about it. She's a great leader for the team. She cares about people. She's incredibly passionate about basketball, and you can see that with the way that she comes in and gets extra shots, but more than that, just pours into her teammates.
I just have a fun question. So, what about black top, 3-on-3 challenge, something like that? These big events. Your thoughts on that? Or maybe volleyball versus basketball, go back and forth.
What an awesome. Yeah, I know. So I will tell you, Mike, that on volleyball day, we actually had kind of a mini Olympics versus our Husker softball team. And we played some sand volleyball that day in Hawks. And they were kind of talking some smack, but I didn't tell them we had a former Gatorade State Player of the Year in volleyball on our roster, and several players that had played high school volleyball at a very high level, and so we just took the W and went on our way. But I don't know that I love your idea about the black top, though, because the one thing I've learned is that the young ladies these days, they don't know how to fall quite as gracefully as we did when we played on the asphalt. That you get a few rocks in your knee, you learn quickly how to stay on your feet, and we've got some that seem to spend a lot of time on the ground. So. Awesome. Well, thanks for being